Nikola Jokic is a two-time NBA MVP who, of course, just led the Denver Nuggets to their first NBA championship, winning the Finals MVP in the process. How did a second-round pick get to where he is today? That's always been my question. Well, his hard work, dedication, and love for basketball, of course, but also his family, including his amazing brothers and Denver Nuggets, who, of course, took a chance on him, and they definitely don't regret it. I'm Jesse with Basketball Dive, and this is the family of Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic was born in Sombor, which is in the northern part of Serbia. He lived there with his parents, grandmother, and his two brothers in a small two-bedroom apartment. Serbia is still home to Nikola as he spends his off-seasons there. You may have seen him recently after winning the NBA title talking about not even wanting to go to the title parade so he could go home.
And if you're looking forward to a parade coming up in Denver.
When is parade? When is parade?
Thursday.
No. I need to go home. Hello.
He has talked about how he will retire there and spend the time after his career enjoying the slow-paced nature of Serbia. Nikola's father is Branislav Jokic. Branislav previously worked as an architectural engineer during Nikola's childhood. He knew his son would grow up to be a basketball player, saying that, quote, "As a child, with a pacifier in his mouth, he would watch his brothers play basketball without moving, without making a sound, sitting on my lap." Another passion that was passed down to Nikola from his family was a love of horses. His father and the family owned a small stable, and Nikola enjoys them, just like his father did. Nikola would even clean the stables before going to school in the mornings. The horses compete in harness racing, and the stable is near a track by the family's home. Nikola still likes to ride horses for a few laps, but isn't allowed to do competition in case something happens for his basketball career. But he aims to always have horses in his life. Dreamcatcher was the name of the first horse that Nikola bought. When he was 14, YouTube became available in Serbia, and because NBA games weren't readily available to stream elsewhere, Nikola learned a lot from YouTube videos. He began watching Michael Jordan highlights and videos of Kobe Bryant. That fueled his passion for the game, sitting in the small, cramped apartment he grew up in. When he was 16, Nikola began playing basketball for Vojvodina Srbijagas, which helped him draw the attention of the pro team Mega Vizora. He honed his skills while playing for their junior team. At 17, he appeared in 5 games in the Serbian League, and the next year signed a 4-year deal with Mega. Between Adriatic League and Serbian League games, he averaged double-digit points, 6 rebounds, and at least 2.5 assists per game. This eventually led to his selection in the NBA draft on June 26 of 2014. But before going so far into that, what about his mother? Nikola's mother is named Nikolina. She pursued a career as a nurse when Nikola was growing up. Because Nikola is more than a decade younger than his brothers, he has said that he had a closer relationship with his parents than his siblings growing up. Other than that, there is little known about her life and what she is doing now, but his brothers, man, they are a handful. The Jokic brothers are infamous. They can be seen sitting courtside at almost every game the Nuggets play. It probably makes sense that they are so involved with Nikola's life, as it was because of them that he became so interested in the sport in the first place. He said that he fell in love with basketball because of them. Strahina is 40 years old and is nearly the same height as his 6'11" NBA playing brother. Strahina played basketball in Europe similar to what Nikola did, but he did not advance his career farther than that. While Nikola, of course, went from playing basketball in his hometown to the NBA in 3 years. But there doesn't seem to be any hint of jealousy between the brothers, as Strahina has been by Nikola's side for much of his career. He looked after his brother's conditioning when he started to play in Europe and later moved to Denver shortly after Nikola was drafted to help him adapt to Denver. Who would have thought that that would have happened when Strahina was throwing knives at him for not climbing a tree he wanted him to? That really happened when they were kids. The 3 brothers and Nikola's then girlfriend all moved into the same apartment together. They became staples at Denver games. Whether you want to see the Jokic brothers heckle Jack Nicholson or just catch a glimpse of their massive build, you're likely to spot them at any of Denver's games. Strahina is 13 years older than Nikola, and in 2019 he did have a run-in with the law that made headlines. He was arrested on suspicion of assault and false imprisonment. He was accused of choking a woman and not letting her leave a downtown Denver apartment. According to documents, the argument stemmed over him questioning the woman over her dating history. She tried to call 911, he didn't let her and took her phone. He threatened to choke her, and she was able to communicate with someone on a computer that he was threatening her, and he was arrested. He has stayed out of trouble off the court since then, but he and his brother Nemanja have made the highlight reels. After Nikola got into a scuffle with Suns' Devin Booker, the brothers wanted all the smoke from Booker. They've even heckled fans during the NBA Finals. Strahina has been seen supporting and partying with his two brothers after big wins. They also have a special relationship with Jamal Murray's father, celebrating wins with him, and don't forget Coach Michael Malone. Nikola Jokic is also a basketball fiend, having played college ball in the United States for the University of Detroit Mercy from 06 to 09. While he was in school, another famous Serbian, Darko Milicic, was playing for the Detroit Pistons. You may remember Milicic as that guy who was picked after LeBron James in the 03 draft, ahead of guys like Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, and Chris Bosh. Brutal legacy, man. Nemanja lived with Darko and took full advantage of that. Quote, "I was living an NBA player's life," Nemanja told Sports Illustrated. "I was throwing the best parties on campus at his house." End quote. Once Darko got traded to Orlando, Nemanja's college career took a dive as he was more focused on girls and partying. He eventually transferred to the CW Post campus of Long Island University, and he played in the Premier Basketball League before finally hanging up his basketball shoes. Nemanja is 11 years older than Nikola and moved to Denver alongside him when he was drafted. Having spent time in the US before, it made the transition on Nikola a bit easier. Maybe it made it easier to beef with Markieff and Marcus Morris after a scrum led to Nikola getting into a battle with Markieff in 2021, right in the middle of one of Nikola's MVP seasons. Markieff fouled Nikola, which was followed up with a foul by Nikola on Markieff that earned him a one-game suspension. Marcus, Markieff's brother, tweeted after the game about the incident with a threatening tweet, but the Jokic brothers were quick to create a Twitter account and have their younger brother's back, saying, "You should leave this the way it is instead of publicly threatening our brother. Your brother made a dirty play first. If you want to make a step further, be sure we will be waiting for you." Jokic brothers. No matter what, you can be sure to find the Jokic brothers somewhere near Nikola. Natalia Masesic was Nikola's high school sweetheart back in Serbia, but she moved with him when he was drafted into the NBA. A guy who was drafted in the middle of a Taco Bell commercial brought 3 Serbians with him to Denver, and the rest is history. But she actually spent time in the United States like Nemanja did, as she attended Seminole State College in Oklahoma, playing volleyball for them from 2013 to 2015. After the move to Denver, she transferred to the Metropolitan State University of Denver, where she did earn a degree in psychology in 2018. While living with the brothers, she cooked for the 4 of them, making sure they were fed. She and Nikola got engaged in 2020 and were married later that year. They got married in October of 2020, shortly after the Nuggets were eliminated from the NBA playoffs. That took place in the Orlando bubble because, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic. Nikola gained a lot of attention when he began lacing up his wedding ring in his shoelaces before games. He said it's to keep his family by his side during the games. The couple had a daughter in September of 2021 named Ognina. Nikola called it the highlight of my life. He's also said his daughter provides him with a lot of energy. So here's where it breaks down. Nikola Jokic, aka Joker, is one of the best players in the NBA right now. He's got all the accolades, he's got the title now, he's a beloved figure because of his honesty and also his pure love of basketball. He's also beloved because he's all about his family. His family has been with him his entire life, from Serbia to Denver, and his brothers are always going to be around yelling and celebrating with him. His daughter and his wife give him the strength to continue perfecting his craft. Well, hey, if you enjoyed this video, watch any of our other videos, some of which are showing on your screen right now. Take care.